What is the profile neck lift? The profile neck lift is a unique procedure that I've helped to develop, and it addresses that heaviness and laxity that forms in the neckline over time. You may have seen a profile photograph of yourself, maybe a selfie, and there's a neckline, a profile that you're really not happy with. So the profile neck lift tightens the neck muscles and removes that excess skin that forms over time in the neckline. And it creates a nice, youthful, and long-lasting profile appearance. If you're considering the profile neck lift, you may be wondering what the recovery is like. Well, the profile neck lift is performed in the office under local anesthesia. In our experience, we find that it can be performed quite safely and quite comfortably under local anesthesia. Oftentimes, we'll give patients a little bit of oral sedation, maybe some Valium or medicine like that to help take the edge off. The procedure itself takes perhaps 45 minutes to perform. After the procedure, we place a big bulky bandage in place, and that bandage stays in place for about 2 or 3 days. We find that most of our patients have very little pain or discomfort after the procedure. Many patients take perhaps only Tylenol. Oftentimes, pain medicine isn't necessary. As far as recovery, as I mentioned, we do put a bandage in place, and that bandage typically is removed after about 2 to 3 days. Many patients we find are able to return to work and return to many of their ordinary day-to-day activities after just a few days. So the profile neck lift is a wonderful way to improve the contour of your neck and chin, to address the excess skin, muscle, and fat that deposits and accumulates with time. It gives a great profile, great contour to the neckline in a minimally invasive fashion under local anesthesia in the office with a truly very short recovery period. Perhaps you're considering the profile neck lift. Who's a good candidate for the profile neck lift? As always in cosmetic surgery, we want patients that are healthy, motivated, and good and appropriate surgical candidates for elective surgery. Who else is a good candidate for the profile neck lift? Well, a person who has a lot of laxity in the neck and chin, has some banding of the platysmal muscles in that area, perhaps some unwanted fat deposition, excess sagging skin. Other patients for the profile neck lift are patients who are considering a facelift, but perhaps don't want the recovery of the downtime. Other patients may be considering our laser-assisted weekend neck lift, but just have too much excess tissue in the neck to enjoy the benefits of the weekend neck lift. You may be thinking about the profile neck lift, and you may be wondering what the benefits are. Well, the first benefit, and the great benefit, of course, is a wonderful improvement in the contour of the neck and chin. It tightens the muscles, the lax muscles that oftentimes form bands in the neckline. We remove the excess fat and soft tissue that forms in that area over time, and we tighten the skin. So the great benefit, of course, is a youthful contour to the neck and chin. I have many patients in the past who've commented that they don't like their profile in their selfie, or when they talk, they feel their neck waddling as they speak. Other patients have been concerned that it doesn't feel comfortable in their collar because they have excess neck skin. So among the great benefits of this procedure are a long-lasting result. The profile neck lift lasts for many years. I have some patients who are 15, 20 years out from this procedure, and they're still enjoying their benefits. The incision is hidden and difficult to see and fades over time. Another benefit of the profile neck lift is that it can be safely and comfortably performed in the office under local anesthesia. General anesthesia or the need to go to sleep is not necessary with a profile neck lift. You may wonder, how is the profile neck lift different from our laser-assisted weekend neck lift? Well, the laser-assisted weekend neck lift works to define the jawline and the neck and chin, whereas the profile neck lift is really designed for patients who have more excess tissue here in the neckline, in the profile area. So the laser-assisted weekend neck lift helps to contour and tighten the neck and chin, but the profile neck lift is really the ideal procedure for a patient who has more excess turkey waddle, heaviness, laxity in the neck and chin. So that's the difference between the laser-assisted weekend neck lift and our profile neck lift. You may have heard about the profile neck lift and may be wondering how it's performed. It's a procedure that removes the excess skin from the neck and tightens the neck muscles that oftentimes become banded with time, creating the turkey waddle deformity. So in the profile neck lift, I carefully create a zigzag incision that's concealed along the neckline, and this irregular zigzag incision line heals very well, quite naturally into the folds of the neck. And during this procedure, I remove the excess skin, I contour, remove the unwanted fat that's deposited in that area, and then I tighten the underlying muscles. And then the excess skin is removed. So this is a procedure that is very long lasting and creates a strong, youthful contour to the profile or to the neckline and chin area. Please give our office a call to learn more about our profile neck lift. The C-lift is our unique incisionless non-surgical facelift. This is an in-office procedure that requires no incisions and no downtime. Many of our patients think of it as a liquid facelift. So perhaps if you're considering facial rejuvenation but aren't yet ready for a facelift and you're not quite pleased with the fillers you're having done at the present time, you might want to consider our C-lift. This is a unique procedure where fillers are very carefully placed beneath the muscle to lift the cheeks, to smooth the nasolabial folds, to define the jawline, create a more youthful jawline and neckline. You might be wondering if you're a good candidate for our C-lift procedure. We generally find that the ideal candidate for the C-lift procedure is a patient who is seeking a non-surgical alternative. Perhaps this is a patient who's not quite ready yet for a facelift, or perhaps we find often it's a patient who's had fillers in the past, but they find that fillers just aren't quite doing what they were hoping for. So that's why we developed the C-lift. It softens the tear troughs. It lifts the cheeks, creating a more youthful appearance to the face. It smooths and softens the nasolabial folds and gives a much more youthful definition to the jawline and neckline. If you're interested in our C-lift procedure, I'm sure you're wondering how long the C-lift lasts. We find that in most patients, the C-lift lasts for up to 2 years. So this is a long-standing, non-surgical liquid facelift with very little recovery and very little downtime. And the terrific thing is, as I mentioned, that it lasts for up to 2 years in many patients. So if you're seeking a unique, non-surgical facial rejuvenation technique, consider our C-lift, perhaps as an alternative to traditional facelifting, and perhaps as an alternative to traditional fillers. You may be wondering, what are the benefits of the C-lift? The benefits are many. First, it's performed in the office. There's no need for anesthesia and no need to go to sleep for the procedure. We perform the C-lift in perhaps 20 or 30 minutes. So this is a quick procedure, non-surgical procedure, customized for each individual with, as I mentioned, very little downtime or recovery. Most patients, I find, are able to apply makeup and go back to work immediately following their procedure. The benefits include creating a more youthful jawline, neckline, lifting of the cheeks, smoothing of the nasolabial folds, improving the tear troughs. So it's a great alternative, perhaps, to a surgical facelift. And for those of you who may be getting traditional fillers, this is a unique use of fillers. It creates a more youthful, rejuvenated appearance to the face, a natural look. And I find that our patients are very pleased with this liquid facelift technique as an alternative to traditional facelifting and traditional fillers, providing a more youthful look in a brief in-office procedure with truly very little to no downtime. Please give us a call and find out how you can learn more about whether the C-lift is right for you.